Welcome to the second Joint Global Conference on Social Work, Social Development, Action and Impact.
Here we are, about 2,500 persons from more than 100 countries. And this is, I believe, the biggest event on the social sphere in the world.
I think as an educator myself, I think this sort of conference will enrich my understanding of international issues and problems. What is happening around the world, what are the new processes, new models, new practice models that have been developed in different parts of the world. And I think this will enrich my teaching in social work. And this will help me to have more examples, more case studies, more perspectives to offer to my students, rather than limiting to the understanding of my own country.
One thing that I have learned working for human rights is that social workers are absolutely crucial in the struggle for human rights. I have been working for human rights for 4 decades by now. My speech focused on economic problems and the current economic crisis, which has victimized the poorest and the most vulnerable in our societies. The gaps have increased even before the recent crisis. In fact, in Europe, the gaps, the inequalities have increased during 3 decades by now. And this is a real problem which I feel the politicians now must address with the spirit of solidarity.
Even if we have done a lot in our country, we still have a lot to do, let me say that. But I met my colleagues in Europe for some months ago, where we discussed the reform agenda in social policy in the light of the financial crisis. And I was really worried about what I heard, because there are very many countries now trying to reduce pensions, trying to reduce the social work. So it's necessary for the politicians to make the right decisions when the budget is decreasing.
Human rights in Africa is an extremely controversial topic, and as social workers we know ever so often it's who's telling the story. There are numerous challenges. The scourge of HIV/AIDS and the way that is been decimating, I think, families. It has its impact from the most micro level, from the most intimate aspects of people's lives with regard to managing sexuality, to, affecting the economy, because the most productive members of our society are actually dying. So we're dealing with children who are orphaned, and that's a huge social problem. Unemployment is a major crisis in South Africa, and but we need to see that within a globalizing world. It doesn't take a genius to understand how financial liberalization and trade liberalization is impacting the life of people in South Africa.
So what do we want to do? We wanted to help governments to understand about disability, what they needed to do. We needed to provide evidence. We needed to show what could be done to make the lives of disabled people better. Today I talked to the conference about the fact that there are 1 billion disabled people in the world. That's 15% of the population. I think that disabled people are found among the poorest of the poor. Disability is a real development issue. So, for example, the Millennium Development Goals do not mention disability, despite the fact that disabled people are poorer, have less included, have worse educational outcomes, have worse health situations. And so I think it's really important as we go forward after 2015 to ensure that the needs and rights of people with disabilities are met. And the people here, the social workers and managers and activists here, have a very important part to play in making that a reality.
At the moment, being a Greek, coming from Greece, where literally the welfare state and the National Health Service have collapsed, I think it's critical that we debate and we try to find ways and even struggle to find ways to defend human rights, welfare rights, and create alliances between social workers, academics, trade unions, and service users in order to promote social justice and even defend, these very basic rights we had until recently.
When comparing with Western countries, I think that in India, still the social workers have the identity crisis and the profession is not legalized. So really we find a lot of difficulties in stabilizing ourselves. So now only the government is realizing the importance of social workers, and there are various opportunities and scope are there to establish ourselves.
From this very important conference, I hope to get more experience from other countries on training, on doing and promoting social work to develop and to apply in my home country as well in my current career, like lecturer on social work.
This is the second time for me to attend this Joint World Conference, and last time I was in Hong Kong. We have different experience, different knowledge and different situation in our own country. We are like farmer and we are collecting different seeds in this conference, and then after that we go back to our own region and we spread the good seeds, and I think after years then when we look back, the whole world will have some changes and we do make progress throughout this kind of work.
So now we are about to close this conference. My feeling is I am happy. I am happy because I had so many good moments with different kinds of persons. It is extraordinary when more than 2,000 people involved in social work and social development are in the same room.
What I have heard from the delegates, they are very happy about the standards of the workshops, the symposia and the plenary. This is important to getting to know each other, to get new platforms, to get networks and to exchange your experiences, your knowledges with each other. And then you come home with new things you can practice in your own daily work. And another thing, and it's a side effect in a way, I think this is a way to make peace. You never fight a friend.
We really want social issues to be part of the global agenda of the heads of states, of the G20, for instance, and this is why you all need to go to Melbourne in 2 years.